Facebook, YouTube. What's up? What's going on this afternoon, man? This Coach Jay just coming on here to chat for a minute. Um, if you're watching from YouTube, hit like, hit share, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. If you're watching on Facebook, hit like and hit share. Let's have a conversation about being out of position and what the result of being out of position will get you. Also, we're going live again from this platform on tomorrow. I got a coach coming in, a high school coach, athletic director, coming in just talk about young people and the success and the character and what it takes for young people to make it to the next level from high school and into college. But on tonight, it's just something that hit my heart, hit my mind. I just wanted to come on here and talk about as it relates to being out of position. As I look at the news, it's just killing after killing after killing, murder after murder after murder, robbery after robbery after robbery. It's so much going on, man, outside of COVID. It's just crazy. And if you like me, I really love people and I want to see all people successful. And I always wonder and ask myself, what is it that I can do to make things better in this world? And I know a lot of people don't like to get involved in situations that have nothing to do with them. I get it. Who wants to involve themselves in something that has nothing to do with them and bring repercussions on themselves? But I was thinking about love, and evil, hate, um, that causes people to make decisions to inflict harm on others. That's evil. It takes hate and evil to be able to just randomly do something to that nature. And then I started to think about love, and like it costs us nothing really to love somebody. Love is not intrusive. Love is caring. Love is fair. And in the world, it just seems like there's so many people that are out of position. If you think about a football team on defense and offense, like what it takes for a football team to be successful on offense, everybody has to be in position and everybody has to execute their position based on their skill set. Whether you're, a guard, a tackle, a running back, a tight end, a receiver, whatever your position is, center, you have to execute your position and you have to remain in position for the play that's called to be executed with precision, right? And even if you're on defense, same thing. Everybody has to be in position, and the play that is called has to be executed to the T to stop the offense. And if anybody get out of position, then guess what happened? Exposure happened. Gaps are seen. Voids are seen when we're out of position. And I believe that if we all just took a moment and paused and looked at the world, I think what we're experiencing and seeing is just a lot of people are out of position. Because if we were all in position as it relates to good, if we had to say good versus evil, or whatever the case may be, I believe that everybody that intends to do good in the world, intends to love in the world, if we were all in position, executing at the rate that we should be, we wouldn't see evil at the rate that is manifesting in the world. That's just what I believe. I don't know what you believe, but I believe that. I believe that so many of us really don't know and understand our contribution to the earth, or what we should do to be able to contribute to the greater good of this society and use our gifts to the best of our ability to bring change, to bring harmony, to bring peace, to bring enlightenment to the world at large. And, I'm not saying I'm trying to go out here and change somebody, but what I am trying to do is I'm trying to bring awareness in a manner that we can all see that we can live and we can have what it is that we desire to have and not have to take from others, not have to destroy each other. Um, of course, how you doing, Vernita? Of course, there's situations where there's some haves and some have-nots in some situations, and but that it's like the sheriff department or any police will tell you that they spend 90% of their time dealing with the 5%, of the population. And so it's like, so that lets you know if 90% of the people were in position, we should be able to control the 5% or the 10% pretty easily. If you look at it on a scale, right? Like 90% should outweigh 10% any day of the week. But there's something that is off in the world that we live in. And again, I get, the whole no snitching policy, or, I'm gonna mind my business and, live my life. I get that. I understand that you want to live your life. You don't want to be involved in something that you don't have anything to do with. But I want to be able to drive down the street and not fear for my life. I want my son to be able to drive down the street and not fear for his. I want to be able to go to Walmart and not have to, always have a pistol on me, even though I'm gonna have a pistol on me. You know what I'm saying? if I'm out and about, I'm gonna have a pistol on me. That's just what I choose to do. But I would hope that we would all want to live in a life to where we don't have to look over our shoulder and be in we ain't in combat, like we ain't down range in war zone. Like you gotta be like, you gotta go out your house and be in combat mode just to go to Walmart. You know what I'm saying? Just to go to the drive-thru and get something to eat, like you gotta be in combat mode. You gotta put your pistol on on your lap. You know what I'm saying? It's like, is that the society we really want to live in? And it's only so for, as it relates to people moving out of the inner city to get away from it and move in the suburbs, it's only so far you can move out. It's like it's only so far you can move away before it hits the area you're at. Then you're gonna move further away. So it's like we got to figure out like what we can do without depending on the government to come in and bring about change. And I believe if we all got in position, if we all just like really just begin to love our neighbor, not trying to like be in people's business or anything, but just being authentic in our character, in our personality, and in our interactions with each other, and just like, just wanting to see the good in everybody and lending a helping hand where we can. I think about I did a show with a counselor that works in the prison, and she was talking about how, like, she counseled young men, who are not even 25, who are looking at, more years in prison sentence than they've been alive. They 20, 19, and they looking at 30 years, 25 years in prison. And so I was asking myself this question, like, what sane person, you ain't even got to really be sane, but what person would sit down in thought and say, hey, listen, I'm going to make a decision. And this decision that I'm going to make is probably going to cost me 25 tough years of my life. Like the 25 years is going to cost me, I'm going to be living in a barbaric environment. I'm going to be living in an environment where I'm told what to do, when to do it, how to do it. I'm going to be living in an environment that is a congregate type setting. I'm not going to have much privacy. Not going to have access to whatever, desires that I may have other than, some junk food and, maybe just like some street type interactions with other people who look like me. And I got to do that for 25 years because the decision I'm going to make, and I'm going to still say, yes, I'm going to make that decision and know that's going to look like for me. Like, who would do that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if we just started to just slow down and think, and start to really to work with this generation that's coming up, to see what's on their mind, see what's in their heart, what is causing young teenagers to go into a school and shoot up a school. We just had the shooting incident today. Somebody went into school and shot up a school. It's like, what is really going on? What's going on with parents? Why is it that parents are so busy to where they don't know what's going on in their home, that they are not in tune with their child to know that there's something that may be a little bit off. Have we gotten so busy, right, that we are not in place? Again, we're talking about being out of position. Are parents out of position to where they're not able to parent, not able to guide, not able to influence their children? And the internet, the social media platforms have more influence than the parents because of they're out of position. If I was a parent and I felt like I had no influence on my child, and that the world, when I say world, I mean whatever it is that is influencing them to make decisions, whether it's a street life, gang life, whatever life they choose. If that had more influence on my child than me, I would really feel like I failed as a parent. I would really feel like I failed as a parent, and I would try to work hard to do what I could to gain influence back and gain control back. I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want my child only sleeping in my house and then not being influenced by me. Like, you sleep in my house, but then you go out and you influenced by something else, or you sleep in my house and you influenced by something else. I wouldn't want that. I would rather say, listen, man, let me put you in a situation where you can live on your own if I can't be the one to influence you, because you're gonna mess around there and bring harm and danger to me and in the family while you're out there doing whatever you're doing. So I want to say to parents, I want to say to family members, uncles, aunts, just remain in position, right? You don't have to, like, beat your children up, beat your nieces and nephews up because of the decisions they make, but just stay in position, right? Stay in position to where you understand that influence matter, because it is what's influencing this generation that is causing so much chaos. It's the influence. It is what's causing them to fit in, want to feel as if they fit in. That's causing them to be drawn from this thing to that thing to that thing to that thing to that thing. And I believe that it's because, as a whole, we're out of position on some level. We're out of position. Again, you talk to the police force, talk to the chiefs, the sheriffs, and say, hey, 90% of your time is going to what percent of the population? And they'll tell you it's going to probably about 5 or 10% of the population. 90% of their time they're dealing with the 5% or the 10% of the population. That's what they're dealing with. You spending 90% of your time dealing with just that small percentage. So where's the community at? How can the community help? I'm not asking nobody to start a neighborhood watch, but what I am asking you to do is, if you start loving your family right and, being in position in the lives of your nieces, nephews, I believe that's a good start. And if everybody you challenging them to say, hey, man, be in your nephew's life, be in your son's life, be the best influence and role model you can be, that's a start. Because right now we ain't winning. We losing. We losing big time when it comes to, young people getting these huge sentences. And, we got people advocating for fair sentencing. We got people advocating for equal rights as it relates to sentencing. But then you got people out here doing things that call for them to maybe be locked up for 50 years, maybe call for them to get a life sentence, So it's like, how can we advocate on one hand for fair sentencing, but then on the other hand, we'll allow our young people to make these decisions to put them in a situation where their sentence is not fair, or their sentence is fair because what they did, called for that kind of sentence, And so I just want to see, like, what the thought process, like, what causes a person to, wake up and, commit a murder, or wake up, commit an armed robbery or burglary. What's going on in their mind? Is it something going on in their mind where they feel like I need to run up in somebody's house because I have a need, or I need to run up in somebody's house because I'm trying to reach a certain status in whatever situation I'm affiliated with. I need to run up in somebody's house so I can grab some things to sell to give me leverage. I don't know, but I feel like we need to ask those questions and try to get to the root of it and then deal with the root. Like, what made you do that? Like, you were so angry, you had no control to where, you know what I'm saying, you just pulled the trigger. Like, you ain't had no thought, no time to think. Like, you got so caught up in the moment and you lack self-control that you just pulled the trigger. And now you're looking at, years and years and years and years in prison. I don't think anybody that would be in their right mind would make that choice and know what's coming with that choice. Like, know what them years in prison is going to look like for you. Know how that's going to change your life and the trajectory of your life, the damage that it's going to do to you psychologically, to be locked in that box, to be locked in that cage. I don't know anybody that would just say before they make the decision, yep, sign me up. That is what I want for myself. That is what I want for my future. And so I think we need to figure out how to give people the tools that they need to be able to cope in difficult situations, to be able to have self-control, to be able to manage their emotions. Influence play a huge role, Vernita. I mean, it plays a role in our life. Like, what I am today is because of what I chose to allow to influence me. And it's just, I chose the things that were going to get me to the place that I knew I wanted to go. And so with that being said, leads me to another point. It's like, we have to help our young people see where it is that they want to go and make sure that they understand what a future really is and that they can really have one. And that when they make decisions, how you doing, LaWanda? When they make decisions, they can begin to make decisions that align with their future. But it's some people that don't even have a future. I've talked to a lot of young people, and they like, man, I get what you're saying, but I ain't even thought that far yet. I ain't even considered what the future gonna look like. I'm just trying to get through the day. And so it's like, who in your life, like, you got all these people in your life, like, you weren't born on your own, like, you got a mom and a dad. I know they may not be there. You got some kind of family or a friend's dad or somebody. If everybody was in position, I'm sure you done ran into somebody in your life that could say, hey man, what are you planning on doing with yourself? Like, what do you want your future to look like? And then that person just sit down and just talk with them about that and help them see that. Help them see that it is possible. Help them see that if they reach for it and put certain things in place, that they can obtain it, whether it's the house, the car, the family, the kids. They can go get it. The education, you can go get it. There's so many routes you can go to go get it. But you got to see and believe that it's possible for you. Yeah, they need influence. And again, this whole live is about, we out of position. It's too many people out of position, whether by choice or by force or by circumstance. It's too many people out of position. And I look at it again like this right here. I just look at this metrics. If you ask police chiefs, sheriffs, whoever, what population of the people you spend 90% of your time on? And they're gonna tell you probably 5% or 10% of the population is what they spend 90% of the time on. So if they spend 90% of the time on 5% of the population, that means we out of position, because that's a very small number. That's like a bunch of repeat offenders, right? That's people, frequent flyers. I mean, you can almost nail them down to a T. Where they live at, they're gonna commit this crime, they likely to commit that crime, So how can it that 90% of the population cannot come up with a strategy to deal with the 5% or the 10%? It's because we out of position. We got to get back in position, LaWanda. We got to get back in position. And when we get back in a position, we have to know, a wise man said to me the other day, wise man, my mentor, he said, when people experience your gift, they experience Jesus. When people experience your gift, they experience Jesus. And I believe that we all have a gift that we should give to the world that will cause us to leave a legacy in the world, that will cause us to really change lives and impact lives like no other. And we all got to find that gift. I think that's one of the reasons why many are out of position, is because we're just caught up in working, providing for our family, paying bills, having a car, being able to get groceries, um, and that's it. Like, like that's what you're supposed to do. But the legacy and influence is bigger than just that, right? Like, like if you're doing what a man's supposed to do, a woman's supposed to do, or however you want to say it, like that means what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do. Like, you know what I mean? We're gonna clap. We're gonna give you a clap for that. But what about that purpose? What about, like, do you were put here for something bigger than you, for something bigger than just your family? Like, you being able to do what you need to do for your family is just like the training for what you need to do to impact your community, impact the world. You know what I mean? And so again, I say we got too many people out of position. I think, I'm just gonna talk football because I love football, but that Georgia defense, it's hard to find a hole in it. And I believe if we all get in position as individuals in our society, in our regions, in our community, in the territory in which we live in, I believe it'll be hard to find holes in our society. I believe it'll be hard for anyone to not be able to find what they need to thrive and to grow. We got too many people that are lacking, whether it's an information lack, a knowledge lack, a skill lack. We got too many people that are lacking. And the things that they're looking to is giving them attention, but it shouldn't be that. The same percentage that the police are spending their 90% of the time on, that same percentage is the one that's got most of the influence, if you ask me. I mean, when I say most, I mean, like, it's relative, but that same result is showing back up in the world at a level that we don't need it to be. It's showing back up in the world at a level that we don't need to be. Look at these snatch and grabs that's going on in these luxury stores in the city. Groups of people running into Louis. They ran up in a Home Depot or Lowe's or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Can you imagine your granddaddy going in like Lowe's just to pick up some screws for the house, and people run up in there, he get caught up in something like that? Like, for real? Again, like, are we in a war zone? Do I need to, make a decision? If I go to Lowe's, I gotta have my pistol. Like, really, is that? I mean, that's the way we want to live. I mean, I'm saying you need to be wise, make whatever decision you want to make. But if I go to Lowe's, Home Depot, or anywhere, if I leave my house, if I got my wallet, I got my friend, and he's never failed me yet. Yeah, and that's just what it is. That's just me. I ain't telling you what to do. You do what you want to do with your life, what it is to keep you safe. But I try not to be out at a certain time of the night. I try to move the way that I feel comfortable moving, because it keeps me in control. I don't want to be in a situation where I can't control. But anyhow, I don't want to get off subject. We got to get in position. Challenge everybody around you, right? Everyone that you come in contact with. Just have a conversation and say, hey, I was just thinking the other day about whether I'm in position. Explain to them what you mean based on what you heard me say today, and then ask them if they feel like they're in position. And I believe that we'll begin to realize that it's too many people out of position. We can't just rely on the people that we vote into office. We can't just rely on the police, government. We just can't rely on that. We can't we should be able to rely on the church. And the reason why I say that is because that should be like the truth. The church should be leading should be the forerunner in the community more so than the government. But that's neither here nor there. That's a conversation for a whole nother live. But um, challenge those that are in your life, to just really take their rightful place and to really find their gift. And I believe if we begin to find our gift and share our gift, I think we can make this world a better place. Our young people are just too precious. People are dying left and right, and I don't know how many children are being born a day, but I know at the rate people are dying, a lot of people are leaving this earth. And I hope that enough people are being born to, keep the population at what it should be. But even with that, we got to be able to have a healthy population, a healthy people, a healthy humanity that desires to have some synergy and good energy um, for humans. And so let's get in position. Let's get in position, man. That's all I wanted to come on here and talk about is just getting in position. It was just the entertainment world is the influence. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. And so it's like you got to ask yourself, like, did parenting become so boring to where the kids just look up to that alone? You know what I mean? If I was a parent, if it took me doing some TikToks with my child or understanding what it was, YouTube and this or that, to be able to still maintain my rightful place in my child's life, my rightful position in my child's life, then so be it. I got to learn about TikTok. If I got to, what I'm saying, talk to my employer about switching my hours so I can try to be at home or, figuring something out to where I can be actively involved and making sure I am equally involved as the world influence or entertainment. If they spending an hour a day looking at entertainment, I want them to spend, 2 hours a day with me. Or, you could tell it however you want. But I think as parents, man, a lot of parents take a back seat to that because they feel like, man, I can just relax and chill. I can just relax and chill. Yeah, these parents don't have time, but I tell you what, LaWanda, at the rate things going, they better find some time. They better find some time. They better find some time. And whatever that means, even if it's on your Sunday, your Saturday when you ain't working, that you double down, that you put in the quality time, plan a vacation where it gets your child attention to where you can have their attention. Figure it out. Figure it out. That's all you gotta do, figure it out. You figure everything else out, and this is a challenge right here. This is a call, this is a plea to people to figure it out because we just cannot continue to sit back idle and then voice our frustration on the other hand. We can't do that. It's just not it's not right. We the laughing stock of the world. It's not the right thing to do. And so again, we just got to get in position. And if you don't know your position, it's hard to get in position. So I hope that if you're on this call, on this Zoom, on this live, or you look at this replay and you don't know your position, that you can find somebody in your life that can help you figure out and identify what your position is, what your skill is, what your purpose is, so you can get in position, and that we can complete this puzzle of life and do it the right way. Because when I was growing up in my neighborhood, the people were in position, so you couldn't. It was hard to get away with something, And even if you did get away with it, they were still gonna tell you about it, and it pricked at you, right? It pricked at you, and you were like, man, they love me so much. I'm only gonna go so far. I'm gonna push the envelope. I'm gonna push the line. I'm gonna toe the line, but I'm only gonna go so far because I know the influence that is in my life. I know where I come from. My foundation is good. You know what I'm saying? My standard is good. I know my standard, right? And so I won't disrespect that. I won't disregard my standard, even though I'll make some decisions to please myself, but I will not disrespect my standard and my foundation because I know what that is. And a lot of young people don't have that. A lot of people don't have that, whether young or old. Young people turn into old people and they never had a foundation. So they grow up as adults without a foundation. And you can tell it shows up in their life. It shows up in their life. So again, man, thank you guys for tuning in. Please hit like, please hit share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the notification bell. Again, I'm going live on tomorrow. I'm gonna have somebody on the show with me who has been in the education field for 15 plus years as a football coach, um, baseball coach. He done it all, athletic director. And we just want to talk about what he's seeing in the school system and what we can do to help our young athletes become student athletes and really take themselves to the next level if that's what they choose to do. So again, tomorrow we're having a deep conversation at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please tune in. If you're on Facebook, hit like and share. If you're on YouTube, hit like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can stay tuned in. Thank you to LaWanda Dees for tuning in. Vernita, thank you for tuning in. Jessica, thank you for tuning in. You know, what we're trying to do over here is not easy work, and we're going to continue to do it, whether 3 people tune in, 4 people tune in, or 1,400, or 14,000, or 14 million. I'm going to stay in position because I know it's bigger than me. So peace out, man. Take care.